Hello, hello. Thank you for checking in. It's Terrible Tuesday. Great to see you all. Hello, hello. Let me say hello to everybody. Allura Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and T-Sis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip Chandler and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Jim Dandy and Sturgis Guy and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Azure Yusuf and the Cram and Marcel and Joe Barney and Red Stapler and John McCain and Wing Doggy, hello, and Blair Cooper and Brett and Terry Sue and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Ian G. Tompkins and N1QOV and Sam and St. Clinton and Cosmic Joe and Jay Dolman and Booten Swede. Thank you for checking in. Great to see everybody. Hello! Hello, hello, hello. Great to see everybody. Hello. Let me... Hello! So... Marcel says, are you sure you didn't forget anyone? I don't think so. Did I? Let me check. Did I forget anyone? I think I said everybody twice. So, oh yeah, I've never watched the Game of Thrones, though it is an extremely popular show. Some people are obsessive about it. Apparently, they killed off one of their main characters, but just like that season of Dallas, it was all a dream. Not really dead. Yes, but... And I've never seen the show, so there's no spoilers for me because I know nothing about it. But you can't avoid not reading about it because there's somebody constantly writing about it, either on Facebook or Twitter or in the news or something. Linda says, yeah, someone did a magic spell and brought him back to life. Though I tweeted something extremely crazy, speaking of bringing back to life. I tweeted a tweet about brain scientists, neurologists, getting approval to do stem cell research on trying to bring back a brain-dead brain. You know, there's people that are brain-dead, but they're still, like, hooked up to machines. You know, that something happened and they're basically a vegetable. And they're trying to do research and find a way to introduce a whole collection of peptides and nutrients for the neurons and the spinal cord and introduce stem cells and see if stem cells if they can get stem cells to regrow parts of a brain-dead brain and in effect bring a brain-dead brain back to life. Now, it sounds a little crazy. It sounds like zombies. It sounds like bringing people back from the dead. It sounds like who are they going to be when they come back? Will they still be that person or will they be somebody else? Will they remember? So but they're starting that research, and you know they're doing a lot of crazy research with stem cells. They're just at the point where they're on the tip of the point of being able to regrow almost any. In the next 10-15 years, they will pretty much be able to regrow. If you need a new organ, you need a new liver or a vein or something. Right now, there's a few things they can regrow using stem cells, and they've tried it on mice and stuff. It's still kind of experimental, and they're still learning. But regrowing your own organs, which obviously they're going to match better using stem cells, So I think that's pretty exciting. And I think they will be doing that within the next 10, 15 years. So hopefully we'll all be around for that. David Jones says he's waiting for them to regrow pianos. Oh, excuse me. Hi, Blair Cooper. Hi, Sam. I'm Blair Cooper, and Sam wants to know if it'll work for him. What? Blair Cooper says, seemingly, if you can fix the broken pathway, which is, you know, the spinal cord or the nerves, synapses, if you can fix the broken pathway, you can do that. Blair Cooper says, I was a quadriplegic who recovered. Holy cow, I didn't know that, Blair Cooper. You know, Wing Doggy here also had took him, oops, what did that just happen? Hang on. Both screens just went tiny. Okay. Now they're big again. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to try and not touch anything. Sam says he's brain. So, well, I retweeted it so you guys can read it. But, yeah. And I'm going to give you, I have an idea about a crime. Now, I don't know any of these people involved in it, but you guys, I don't know if you saw, many of you probably saw, there was a woman in Texas a couple weeks ago who had gone in at 4 in the morning to set things up for some church group on a Sunday morning, and apparently it seems like somebody dressed up in a whole cop outfit had just gone in there beforehand and killed her. And they showed the surveillance tape from the church, and you see like this guy, well, you think it's a guy, you can't actually see anything of the body. They're kind of like, looks like a person who's kind of stocky with a big middle and kind of shuffling his feet, like walking kind of funny, a bit of a shuffle. So, and they said, please, everybody, watch this. Look at how this person walks and moves and stands. Contact the police if this reminds you of anybody. And then right after that, I watched the video of a press conference from the husband of the woman and the father-in-law of the woman, come walking out of the police station and give a press conference, and I bet you the father walked just like the killer in the video. And they were, I'm telling you, I called the Crime Stoppers and I told them to watch that. I don't know if anyone else called them, but I called the Crime Stoppers and told them, I'm like, it's the father-in-law! Look at the tapes. It's the father-in-law. And they were like all smirking at each other. I know I said this before, but yeah, why is it always in Texas? But just like smirking on camera, not even showing any type, like, didn't even seem concerned about the dead woman. They're more like, oh yeah, it was a bloody shirt, and well, see, okay, the dog got bit, okay, so like I picked up the dog, okay, you know, blood got on me, okay, so I took the shirt to the laundromat, okay, okay. That's how the guy talked. Oh yeah, and Blair, Wing Doggy was in a horrible car accident where Wing Doggy says his heartbeat was 31, and he was breathing 5 to 8 times a minute. They put an electric monitor on him, and he was in a coma for 31 days and hospitalized for 6 months. Wow. Sam says, did you have your genius hat on when you called the tip line? Yeah, Marcel wants to know if there were any hot nurses, Wing Doggy. So yeah, I'm waiting for somebody to, because you know, besides how the guy walking exactly like the criminal, and then talking so suspicious and like smirking at each other the whole time, and talking weird and talking guilty. Besides that, it also, when you watch the video, okay, you can it doesn't look like a kid. It looks like an older grown-up. Now the person is all covered with a helmet, like a motorcycle helmet, and full like police gear and gloves. So you can't even tell if it's a man or a woman or whatever, but you can tell it's a stocky person, and the person walks like they're older, you know, kind of slow and shuffling, not a smooth walk, you know, like an older person, a heavier person's walk. And they've got like some sort of hammer or stick or something, and they're just kind of aimlessly going around and like breaking things, but not the same way you would see like if kids were sneaking in to vandalize and they were getting the kick out of vandalizing things or just being bad, and not like somebody breaking in to steal things, just randomly like dressed as a police officer, and then like, oh, like they're trying to like, oh, I gotta break some things, so it makes it look, that's what it looks like to me. It's like they're randomly like, oh yeah, I gotta break a few things, but with no purpose of breaking things other than making it look like it was a break-in. And then the woman was stabbed in the head and upper body with this, well, stabbed or hit with this hammer thing, and that's what killed her. David Jones says, apparently only Lorielle's opinion is the one that matters. It's true. I can tell it. I can smell it. I know the father-in-law is the killer. Just wait. He did it. His son was, it exactly worked out. His son was supposed to be, was out of town that day, so the son would have an alibi. Because they said, they're like, well, you know, of course the police want to talk to us because the husband's always a suspect. So knowing that, the husband said, okay, I'm going to go out of town so that I have an alibi. So the dad does it because you don't expect the dad to do it. I'm positive. Linda says, so is she. Did anyone else watch? Did anyone else watch the videos? Marcel says it's the mother. No. Linda said she only watched their surveillance video. Oh, well, there was their surveillance video, and then there was the press conference. Blair says, by the way, you woke from the best sleep. I woke from the best sleep I had in a week at 2:27 a.m. Wait, what? I don't know what you mean. Hi, Max Fernandez. Blair says, by the way, you woke from the best sleep I had in a week at 2:27 a.m. What does he remember from that time? I'm not sure what your question is. I'm confused. Marcel says, so, is it true you're not allowed? No, you're not, Marcel. Not allowed. Yeah, killing is still not legal. Did I miss something? I'm sorry, Blair. I must have missed something. But anyhow, so not to sound like crazy obsessive, but I know it. I know that's what they did. And they think they're so smart. These two were looking at each other in the press conference, and they're giving their talk and smirking the whole time. They think they're so smart. They think they got everyone fooled. The son went away so he'd have an alibi. They knew that she would be at that church at that time, and they staged the whole thing to try and make people think that it was a break-in. But who's going to break into the church on Sunday morning? Because A, it's Sunday, people go to the church on Sunday, and if you actually want to rob the church, wouldn't you wait until after Sunday when they have the collection and get money? Who's going to break into a church on Sunday morning? That doesn't make any sense. Because if you're going for vandalism, you're going to go into the church when nobody's going to be there. If you're going for money, you're going to go in when the money's there. The only reason you go in at 4 in the morning on Sunday is because you're trying to kill the woman who's going to be there. And try and make people think, oh, it was a robbery. David Jones says, when we put you in front of the jury as a mannerism expert, don't you think they'll bring up your mental illness? Do I look crazy? Do I look crazy to you? Don't you know who I am? Sam says, unless it's proof beyond a reasonable doubt, it doesn't add up. Yes, it does. I got proof. I got proof. I bet these guys are so dumb. I'm positive they left. If you check their emails and their cell phone records, you'll see their trail. Christopher Walken. Linda won 3 games of bingo. That means she got a quarter today, folks. So, Linda says almost. She almost made a quarter. Yeah. Yeah. So anyhow, I'm ready to solve all the crimes that I have no involvement in. Blair Cooper just got, hi, Max Fernandez says it's the apocalypse. Now, I know, I'm serious. Max Fernandez, they're bringing dead brains back to life, and people are, I just saw a thing, some guy in, I forget what state it was, some guy was like going into the supermarket and spraying produce with poison. They just arrested some guy. There was on the video in the supermarket. He was going in with like a squirt bottle with poison and spraying it on fruits and vegetables. What is wrong with people? Are they all going crazy? And my computer is still being weird. I don't know what's wrong, but it's still being weird. I still have to, like, every day keep doing that net reset thing. I did the thing that was supposed to reset the TCP/I, but that didn't work. So I'm still doing it every day. And then yesterday, over the weekend, all of a sudden there's an action box. The action box came on and it wouldn't come off, and I couldn't do anything. It took me a whole bunch of time to get to disable the action box. It wouldn't let me click anything else, and then all of a sudden things keep changing from bigger to smaller. Like something will be this big, and then all of a sudden it'll squeeze down by itself and be like teeny print, and I've got to like And I used to have to actually drag the thing, a box, to make it bigger and smaller to stretch it. Now all of a sudden on my touchpad, I've got to do that like you do on an iPad. Got to do this squeeze or spread thing. That never worked before. So I don't know what happened, but it never did that before. Yeah, so anyhow, so the world is going crazy. The entire world is going crazy, I believe. It's not just, it seems like it's everywhere, doesn't it? Does anyone else feel like that? And Blair Cooper put up the lyrics to the song. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. Do, 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 do. Try to get by with just a smile, girl. Do, 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 do. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. Do, 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 do. Da na 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 na. And Sam now has that song stuck in his head. Stop! Make it stop! How's the boot? Yeah. So, oh yeah, for anyone wondering, my foot is still broken. Yes, still broken, not better. I tried like moving it over the weekend, and I tried to put it like in a shoe, like to see, like test it, and my foot was like, no, 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 don't you dare. Don't you dare do that. I was like, okay, never mind. And this boot is so big. See how big this stupid boot is? Like, it's really wide. So my foot is much bigger. The poor ankle on this side has been kicked. It's black and blue because I kicked myself in the ankle like 35 times a day. I keep kicking my own ankle because it's so big. It's like clunk. This poor little bone on my other ankle. So, like, ow! I just kicked myself again. So, and both my knees hurt from this big foot. It's like throwing it out of balance, and my back hurts. Like, yeah, Wing Doggy says put bubble wrap around your foot. Max ate veggie soup. Oh, good. Yeah, it hurts. It does hurt. So I got the font big on this screen, but I don't have the font is super tiny on the YouTube screen. So I got to put my glasses on to see it because I can't adjust the font right now. Anyhow, how was everybody's weekend? And did I see a movie? I saw a movie over the weekend. What did I see? Oh, I saw my friend. Some of my friends are in a movie called Papa about Ernest Hemingway, and they actually shot it in Cuba over this past year. They're the first film to shoot in Cuba, and it's about the time that Ernest Hemingway was living in Cuba, and then right before the whole revolution started that brought Fidel Castro into power. And so my friend Roger's in it, and my friend Rita and their friend Bob directed it, and Giovanna Ribisi's in it. It's a slower story, but it's a nice story about Ernest Hemingway. So. I need more. So Blair says, have you seen Take Me Home? No, I haven't. I think I saw a preview for that, though. But that's what we saw over the weekend because it just came out. And when Doggy says, you know, the hoverboards, they're making a cart you can sit on. Well, I wouldn't want to get one of those hoverboards. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but a lot of people have had problems with them spontaneously combusting, like starting on fire. I saw a video, guy that first got a brand new hoverboard, first time they have lithium batteries, and in fact, you're not allowed to bring them on planes because the danger of one of them combusting, starting on fire, could bring down a plane. If say it's packed in your luggage, in the luggage compartment, and it starts on fire, that could be deadly. But people have gotten really hurt and burned. I mean, sometimes you've seen like every now and then, like somebody's computer or their cell phone starts on fire. Well, even worse and more dangerous and more frequent is the hoverboards. Oh, Blair's a pilot. Oh, wow. Blair, you've done like a million things, haven't you? So, well, and besides that, besides the fire danger, then there's also the falling danger, because a lot of people, once you get on a hoverboard, it can slip out from under you and you're going to hit the ground very hard. Unless you're like a teenager or somebody with young, bouncy bones, you're gonna break something. If you are gonna crack your back or your elbow or your head or a foot. Yeah, I didn't even need a hoverboard to break my foot. For real, David Jones? Just now, for real, for real. David Jones says Ted Cruz just dropped out of the presidential race. For real. No way. I'm shocked because he was really like, just earlier today I saw him and Donald Trump were going at it. Like, he was calling Donald, they got vicious this morning. For real? David Jones says he needed to win in Indiana. Tisa said just for a week. Wait. Sturgis guy says Carly. Well, I saw. Well, first of all, he was announcing his vice president before he was actually had the nomination, which was a little premature. And a little premature to be announcing his vice president. And then when they had a press conference and they were gonna not a press conference but an event where she was speaking, and then she introduced him, and as she turns to introduce him, she totally falls down like off the platform or something, and he doesn't even look at right in front of him. She totally falls on the ground, like she's like blah blah blah, boom. He just keeps walking to the podium like she's not even there. I think he must have stepped over her. It was like, So, yeah, I'm shocked. Did they give? Was there a reason? I can't believe he dropped out. Though it it really doesn't. When you have John Boner saying that you're like Satan in the flesh, and meanwhile you're trying to say that his platform, what he was selling to everyone is, I am such a godly man, Bible, 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 Bible. And then John Boner says he is Lucifer in the flesh. Those two things are like, boom. So there's Tisha says L'Oreal for president. I don't want to be president. I want to be supreme commander of the universe. Supreme commander of the universe. There will be no democracy in my rule. I am the law. Oh yeah, and then what? To be honest, there was a lot of debate on whether he was actually even eligible because he was not born in this country, and his wife just last week called him an immigrant, and then there's that picture of his father with Lee Harvey Oswald, and everyone's like, "What's that?" But yeah, there's a lot of controversy, and they were going up for there was going to be like a Supreme Court ruling because in the definition it says only a natural born citizen can be elected to president. And that has always been taken to mean somebody born in the U.S. Though if your mother is a citizen and you were born in another country, you become naturalized by process of being, but you're not. There's a technicality, and they were arguing. They're arguing. Well, his mother is a citizen, but he was not actually born in the U.S. So what did they really mean when they said natural born citizen? Does it mean somebody born only on the U.S. ground, or so? Marcel says I sound like a dictator. Yes, but Marcel, I am a very good dictator, unless you cross me. Then you will feel my wrath. Well, Linda, he was born in Canada. So if you're born in Canada, you are an immigrant. I mean, he didn't come to the U.S. till he was 4. I mean, if you're going to be technical. Blair says he was never really a candidate. He was a red herring. You think? There's so many crazy things going on. I'm not even sure what to think. Yes, punishment will be cleaning the barbecue for sure. Sam says he's thinking about moving to the Netherlands or Sweden. So have I, actually. I've been seeing a lot of like really nice travel and things about the Netherlands and Sweden. So, yeah, so anyhow, well, we'll see what happens. It keeps getting crazier and crazier, doesn't it? keeps getting crazier and crazier. I'm not sure what's going on anymore. Blair says his friends are going to Denmark. Yeah, so Sturgis Guy is moving to Mexico. Sturgis Guy, I would definitely recommend that, because after spending your life in really like the Antarctica of the U.S., in Sturgis, South Dakota, I think it's high time you went to a warm place, and Mexico would be an excellent change of scenery for you. That would be. No, climate change is coming. Climate change is coming. I mean, we're thinking of climate change based on our own little, like, well, it's still the same temperature at my house. It's still the same temperature at my house. Climate change, the bigger picture of it is the North and South poles melting. That's the big impact. I mean, it's not just like, oh, the weather's getting wacky. It's the polar ice caps are melting, which melting like crazy fast, melting in a way that they haven't melted before, in that the sea levels will be rising significantly to the fact that places that are cities now will be underwater. That's the damaging, the scary part of the climate change thing that they're talking about. It's not like, oh, we're going to have hotter temperatures or colder winters, and that's part of it, but the dangerous, deadly part is the melting of the polar ice caps. That's the serious part, and you can watch about them and see how much they've shrunk over. So, yeah, so yeah, so there's all kinds of actual crazy scientific things going on, and these, there's a lot of people and leaders and scientists around the world, not just in this country, not just liberals, but leaders around the world are saying, hey, this is a huge problem, and this is something we got to start paying attention to, because we're going to be in deep trouble in 20 years if we don't really start paying attention to this. Like, this is impacting the entire world, not just your local economy or your local weather. This is like a gigantic world issue that's going to be a scary problem if we don't start paying attention and believing like it's real. So Sam says we're in trouble now, and oh my goodness, it's already 6 o'clock. So that's something that's it's starting to get out of control. And did you know that that these are things that the Earth is tilting a little bit, and the polar ice caps are moving? These things are all having dramatic effects, moving, if it shifts, if the world shifts, say it shifts by a centimeter, that has an impact. So anyhow, there's crazy things happening. So I am just about to sign off, but I want to thank you guys for coming to see me, because you're awesome. I will be back tomorrow at 5:15 Los Angeles time for Hump Day. I hope to see you all back. Let me say goodbye to everybody. Allura Star and Shocker and Sturgis Guy and Tesis and House of Dave and Sam and St. Clinton and Eric and Petey and Tim and Ryan and Photo and Philip Chandler. and Mark Mean and Star Raven and Angie Tomlinson and Fairies Lover and Lucky Girl and Andrew Yusuf and the Creme and Marcel and Jim Dandy and Sturgis Guy and Bill Knaus and Scott Kimmis and Joe Barney and Red Stapler and John McCain and Blair Cooper and Sam and St. Clinton and Terry Sue and Brett and Andrew Yusuf and the Creme and Red Stapler and John McCain and Jay Dahlman and Cosmic Joe and Boot and Swede and Wing Doggy. Kisses for everybody. Let me make sure I got everybody here. If I didn't say your name. All right. I love you all. Yeah. Some of you may have gotten called more than once. I can't help it. I don't have this written down on a list. This is all from my memory. Bye. Wait. Linda said I said her name 3 times. See? Yeah. So, okay. Bye. I love you guys. Bye. Thank you, Blair. Blair and Sam. Bye.